sports are male soap operas, and James Harden just made sure that everybody got soap opera content for at least the next 24 hours. Me and Steve, we're gonna break it all down. Talk about it right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome to another episode of NBA Central. And, I already had a video planned this morning. I was going to talk about James Harden anyway. But Shams gave us a clip of James Harden completely ripping Daryl Morey. Is that how you say his name?
Daryl.
Daryl Morey. We're going to go ahead and play that clip real quick here.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
That's the clip, Stevo. Hey, how you feeling about this thing? And just to kind of go over the situation, I guess before we talk about with James Harden, keep in mind James Harden took less money last season. He took about $14 million less that helped the team sign PJ Tucker and Daniel House so that the team could go in and try to make a move happen so that the team would have some depth last season. He comes into this season, he picks up his option, and basically demands a trade. It seemed like the Sixers were trying to work out a trade with the Los Angeles Clippers that end up falling through. They plan on going into training camp with James Harden on the team. They actually are planning on. They were originally planning on trying to make things work out with them. And then we got this video where James Harden called Daryl Morey a liar, said that he would never play for an organization that Daryl Morey is a part of. How you feeling about all this, Steve?
It's sad. It's just sad. It's sad to see him. Matter of fact, it's not sad. It's kind of predictable. When you look at it, he just burned. This is like a dude on his sixth marriage.
He burns every bridge that he
Like,
has.
how the hell you sit here and bite the man that's defended you the most? Out of everybody in this league, he's the reason why you was in Houston. He's the reason why you're here now. And the fact that you gonna come out here and say and publicly and be like, "Oh, you're a dude," you is not the same James. You are a 3 on a good day. You're not even a 2. You're not a 1. You are not 25-year-old James Harden, and you wasn't even the best player then. Like, you have this like, don't get me wrong. The attitudes and the personalities has always been there in this league. It's not going to change. But the difference between like a person like AI, people like Dennis Rodman is A, they won more than you. 2, they practice hard, played hard 100% of the time. And 3, they wasn't like Sam, I want you, pointing the finger at everybody.
Yeah.
That's all you do. When something goes wrong and whatever you at, it's never your fault. It's everybody else's fault. And bro, you saying this, your value is already at an all-time low. Like, the Clippers wasn't that interested to begin with. I don't care what the report's saying. If they was interested for real, we would have heard some trade pieces. We would have heard some packages. We didn't hear shit. They was not interested in you like that. And doing stuff like this doesn't help either. You think other GMs is going to sit here and be like, "Oh, I'll take them"? No. You a ticking time bomb. You a cancer. You a poison to everywhere you go. Stop pointing the finger and point it at yourself.
I think that the problem with Harden is like his work ethic has become worse and worse over the last 5 years probably, and it starts being a thing where it's history repeating itself. Like, first off, to think of the fact that the Sixers traded for James Harden because they had Ben Simmons who didn't want to report to camp, and then they made that trade happen, and then they turn around in the same exact position. And I think that James Harden, who signs these extensions with these teams and then demands a trade. He did the same thing with the Brooklyn Nets, and that's why I always said, like, any team that's looking to trade for James Harden, if they aren't gonna keep giving up a bunch of assets, because who's to say that in another year and a half James Harden is going to ask for his way out for whatever next team signs him. James Harden is a player that still can produce, especially in the regular season. He has a lot of questionable performances in the playoffs, but he'll get you there, right? He'll help get you to the play. He'll play a big role in getting you to the playoffs. Just once you get there, you got to have a better supporting cast, and we're seeing the NBA realizing that now. One thing too that we've seen in the last handful of years, these front offices and organizations are fighting back against the player empowerment movement in the sense that we not finna just trade you just because you demand a trade and us just be sitting there holding the bag with nothing to show for it. And James Harden got to realize, like, at this point, Harden, whether you realize it or not, you can put up all the points and production you want to in the regular season. You fighting for your NBA career right now, bro.
And
That's
I
what
like
it is.
and I like that you brung up the fact that he could get you there. And I think what he's not understanding at this point, getting there that's not anybody can we can find somebody to replace you with that can get us there. We're not paying you the amount of money that we're paying you to just get us there. That's the main issue about your whole career. Why you're fighting for that's the difference between why Russ will always have a job versus somebody like you. They know through thick and thin he gonna play hard regardless of what night it is. No matter if it's the playoffs, no matter if it's the regular season, you're gonna get Russ. When it comes to Harden, yeah, we're gonna get that 30-point game and 28 free throws a game. But when it comes to the playoffs, especially this last one, I think that's the biggest thing that's like why I'm looking at him like, bro, you have some type of nerve to sit there to come call anybody out when you and Joe quit on a whole coach, on your whole team, on a whole city that was going to bat for you. Who hell, if I was a goddamn 76er fan, I wouldn't want your ass there to begin with because I would have saw this shit coming 5 months ago.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to ask you this question because it's just like, is basketball the only the type of way this personality can really go? Because even in like you look at baseball and football, like there's just certain things that could just humble you and be like, you can only get so high, and then it be like, all right now. I feel like now, and we just had this conversation on NBA Central about how somebody it was actually Dr. J who was like the players was running the asylum, and we was like, I don't really like the analogy there, but I get what he's saying. But at the point, I was like, yeah, y'all letting them run the asylum. Like at the end of the day, there's rules and regulations. There's people above people for a reason, and I feel like now that it's getting to a point where these players are getting a little too lenient, or is that glass roof is the Carmelo rule is what you want to call
No, I think, like I said, that we're seeing organizations fight against the player empowerment movement. Like the thing that we've been seeing a lot lately over the last 5 years or so, players they sign these extensions with teams they don't really want to stay with, so they can lock in their money, and then they ask for their trade within a year. That's it's not cutting anymore. And then especially James Harden, he's the biggest prima donna. You got to look at James Harden like this is a dude who intentionally gained a lot of weight so he can be moved from the Rockets.
that man had a big mama thing on,
Bro. Like
suit on.
it's so ridiculous, bro. Like ain't nobody, and I get it. Like these players get paid a lot, but nobody has the room for a prima donna anymore. Everything, like especially now with the second tax apron, these players that are getting paid this big money, you got to come in and perform, bro. And
And
so
he's
go ahead.
I was just about to say he's turning 34 in what 12 days?
Yes, bro. You're the writing's on the wall. Like, yeah, you're still producing. You put up what 20 and 10 last season. Shout out to you for that during the regular season, right? And it's like you asked the question: is basketball the only sport that this can happen in? Yes, right now, but I don't think it's going to keep happening. I think we're seeing things going to start. And hell, Adam Silver's even talked about like they're looking at stuff that they can do to stop players from asking for a trade before, like Kevin Durant asked for a trade before his extension even kicked in, bro.
And they said hell no.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's getting to that point, man, where players are about to start being real disappointed real quick.
And I was also gonna say, is that form of is blackballing is a form of that because we've seen that from every like from Rauf, from Melo to like even to like the lower players. Like, is that a form where they just be like, all right, this dude just clearly think he's that dude still. He's not willing to vary or move around or to just at least work with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody signed him. Like I think that's was like their only thing. And I think they're trying, like you said, they're putting rules like Adam Silver said, they're putting rules so they won't have to do that because blackballing is very obvious and they don't want to look bad. So I think players need to really realize how good they got it compared to any. Because don't get it, NBA players, every other sport is jealous of y'all.
Yeah.
Don't get it misconstrued. They are very jealous of y'all, and y'all gonna put yourself in a position where these months gonna be laughing at y'all. Be like, damn, how y'all turn? How y'all look like us now? Y'all
Yeah.
put in all that work to finally become very empowering, getting the rules, the changes how y'all want, and y'all finna f it up.
And keep in mind, the NBA isn't a league like some other leagues where they have arbitration rules or anything like that. If James Harden does decide to withhold and not show up, he's not going to get paid. If he holds out more than 30 days from the start of training camp, he's not going to get his money. He's
And we
not.
know he want that money.
And we know he wants the money. And then the thing is like, what does that do for the Sixers organization? Like this, it's unfortunate that this happened because really it's gonna put the Sixers in a worse position because you can't now go through training camp and allow James Harden to come in because you know he's the prima donna that he is. You're gonna have to try to now move him, which this is why James Harden does this crap. And now the 76ers are not gonna get back the best possible package that they could have got back because they have no bargaining space, right? I mean, technically, you could trade him to any team. He doesn't have to go to the Clippers, which is his preferred destination. But just the fact that teams now smell blood in the water and they realize, oh, this is about to get ugly. The 76ers got to move him. You're not going to get the best possible scenario in that case.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's more of the question of, hey, it's almost like I don't, I hate to be that person, but I just look at Philly, be like, that's what you got. That's what you get. Like you should have really thought about what you was doing before you did it. Like I feel like a lot of these organizations see talent and be like, ooh, instead of thinking about it real with real thought. Like there is no way in hell if I'm a a Philadelphia or a Brooklyn net executive, and I'm sitting here like, maybe Kyrie and James Harden. Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, they all good. They all
Listen,
can
if
score.
I say I'm petty. I could never be GM because I'd be calling the Wizards and be like, "Hey, can we get Kuzma for Harden?"
Hey, bro, I will send you. Hey, what's dude that played for the Daniel Gafford? Give me Daniel Gafford.
Hey, he'd be playing in Washington the next season, pissed off. But
Bro.
and that's the thing, like, and that's the thing. Reason why I do think I know they just signed a new CBA, so it's not going to come anytime soon. But like, if this continues over the 5 years, 5 to 7 years of this CBA, do not be surprised if like there is something that's public trade demands become a part of it to where you can't do that because, like I said, the 76ers are going to get the worst end of this. They just are. There's no way around it. And it sucks because they just did it with Ben Simmons, right? But that's
Yep.
what happens when you trade for a player like a James Harden that's always a wild card, always a prima donna. And, it's unfortunate, but we are going to see James. I do think if James Harden, wherever he's traded to, if they don't win a title and James Harden isn't a super big part of that, we're going to see James Harden eventually black. He's going to get the AI and Carmelo treatment. It's coming.
I'm telling you now, in the next 3 years, don't be surprised if you see him in Istanbul.
I mean,
I'm
Carmelo
not.
go over to China. It seems like he's a huge star over there. They love his ass over there for being in
Yeah,
time with
till he realized they over there they still be betting and shit. So you miss one shot and one free throw, he might come up missing.
Hey man, it's interesting. Do you think we get a James Harden move done before the start of the season?
No. I think he's gonna they gonna be like, all right, motherfucker, you wanna play this game? You gonna sit here and not get paid. And we gonna hear the James Harden bitch moan all goddamn year. That's really what it's gonna be. And his like I said, his value already at an all-time low, and you just dropped it even more off one clip. You said that shit in a public gym and you repeated it like you was making some type of announcement, like somebody's gonna take you take your Kimbo Slice looking ass and look in the mirror.
Oh, Wedge. Remember Kimbo Wedge? Because
Kimbo Wedge, Slice, bitch. I don't give a damn. I'm so tired of this motherfucker with them little ass braids. That's his problem. He tried to stay with the Joneses.
Hey,
Shit.
but let us know your thoughts, man. The James Harden nonsense. This is crazy, bro. Like this has been a crazy offseason, really, when you think about everything that's gone down. Like
From
all the trades,
Dame.
Chris Paul been traded multiple times. Like it's wild. And we'll see how it all ends up shaking out. But I don't think this is gonna work out best for the 76ers or James Harden, because I think James Harden, if you go to your neck, this will be James Harden 4th team in 5 years. If that happens and you still have a playoff fucking big zero like you've had, like keep in mind, he had 2 huge performances for the 76ers in the playoffs. But other than that, he averaged like 12 points per game if you take away the 50-point and 45-point game, I think is what it was. If you have lay another goose egg in the playoffs, that's it, bro. You're not getting money. They not looking at you. It's about to be ugly. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
I'm just he gonna be teammates with Kai Soto. That's what's gonna happen. That's
Him
what's gonna happen.
and Marco Simonovic and Denzel Valentine, they all gonna just join
A
forces.
super team.
Yeah.
They're gonna have the first Filipino strip club called Beards. Beards and Gums.
All right, y'all, man. Make sure you guys are following the channel at NBA Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, NBA Central Show at gmail.com. Y'all can follow Stevo at Stevo Speaks on everything. Follow me at CEO Haize. Any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, you can leave voicemails at 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything basketball related, and we out, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.